Hi. Um, I cannot figure out my camera situation today. So I'm on my phone again. I apologize. I was going to try to use my Surface Pro to talk to you guys, and it was a no-go. I'm going to see if maybe I can move you around a little bit. Let me see. Maybe that's better. Hi, CeeLo Fly. How you doing? How's life? How's Sunday? I just got home from church. This feels like an odd angle. This is what we're working with today. Hey guys, I just got home from church. I'm sitting here drinking some coffee, and I have been thinking a lot about if I even want to talk about this on here yet. So you all may or may not know this about me, but I am a researcher. Before I do anything, thanks, Videri, my friend. Hi, Tamsin. I'm glad you caught me live. I like to read and research things before I do anything. And I have been on kind of a research and reading journey since probably February of this year. I hope you guys are drinking some water. I am, out of a cider company glass today. So yeah. So I want to just be transparent and talk to you guys a little bit about what I have been reading and thinking about. And a big part of this stems from this idea of I want to get away from, number one, a lot of my sort of cyclic bad behaviors involving food, which is this being really on track and doing really well, and then having a really bad couple of days or something where I'm off track and my cravings have taken over and I'm just completely off, and then beating myself up. So we've talked about that. During Lent, Catherine loves that I'm a researcher. So during Lent, I was thinking a lot about some of the issues and the relationship that I have with food, and the fact that my losing weight had become like just all consuming, right? And what can I do about that? And so, I've been watching a lot of my friends out here on YouTube and watching some different channels. One of my friends here in the area that I live in got me listening to somebody here online called Dr. Berg, and then another person called Thomas DeLauer, and they've done a lot of research on sort of like ketogenic eating, intermittent fasting, all of that. Just for clarification, I am an Orthodox Christian, and we do a lot of fasting in our faith. And so we have periods of time where we don't eat. We have periods of time where we are very strict about what we are eating. And this is all a way to sort of bring the body into discipline. And that's probably a very simplified explanation, but my channel is not about my Orthodox Christianity, so I haven't really talked to you guys too much about that. But I did want to come on here and talk about sort of the intermittent fasting piece of that. So, a little bit of background. My husband, you guys have seen him before. Luigi, you totally get it because you're Catholic. Thank you. I'm glad somebody understands. He's home. He just got home from church, actually, so he's probably going to walk in here. So he and I have been on this pattern the last few years where we eat very different things. And I would say it's gotten to the point where I do not enjoy this way of living at all. So, hi honey, I'm talking to myself.
Hi yourself.
Come in here and say hello. I have you come in here. Come and say hi. I'm doing a live stream. Here he is in his.
How art thou?
Thou art great. There's my husband. So hi Stephanie, how are you? So anyway, okay, what was I saying? So he has been struggling during fasting periods. He tends to drop a lot of weight because he really isn't eating hardly anything, and if he does eat, it's no meat, no wine, no dairy, no oil, Very, very simple. Try not to cook a lot, all of that. You just try to simplify it and not have that be the centrifugal force of your life. Well, what he's finding, honey, I'm speaking for you, by the way, is that after these big fasting periods around Easter and around Christmas, he will put some weight on, and it's usually in his middle, which is where a lot of men, Carrie is fasting right now, whereas that's where a lot of men gain weight as they get older. You guys know that, right? Right. So he and I have been talking about, because this month I have been working on the carby stuff, we've been talking about streamlining our eating and doing something together, which we've never done. I can tell you, I'm always modifying my meals because he doesn't really like to eat the same things that I do, which sounds crazy. But for instance, like at night, if I make grilled chicken, I will have a huge plate of vegetables and maybe a sweet potato. He's not a sweet potato fan. To be honest, he's not a vegetable fan. And so he'll have, like, his side stuff will be completely different than mine. And then when we're fasting, things are just crazy because if I'm eating a lot of carbohydrates, it sets me off into complete just this issue that I have with binging on carbs and snacking and the whole thing. Whereas he doesn't really have that problem. You know, he can eat some Cheez-Its and not feel like he has to eat a whole box of Cheez-Its. So that being said, I have been reading and I want to show you all because I don't want you to think that I'm like jumping on some new bandwagon. This has been like a year of research and me really trying to think about what can I do so that food is not such a constant. I just feel like it's always right here, you guys. It's right in front of me. This whole, I have to lose weight. I have to take care of myself. I have to be on program. I have to track. Where's my tracker? Where's my tracker? Where's my journal? Where's my this? Where's my that? And it's become very chaotic and schizophrenic for me. So, you know, I'm talking about myself. Okay. And of course, somebody laughingly commented on my video yesterday, make sure you put your disclaimers out there so you guys know I'm a nurse, but I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not telling you guys to do anything on my channel. Okay, we're just having a little friendly chat. So I wanted to share with you all, every time I turn, oh weird, Anita's gonna kill me because I have the window in back of me, but I can't really help that right now. I wanted to share what sort of started this, and I had a friend that works at a health food store, keto, and I said, I just don't think I could ever do keto. I feel like it's too restrictive. I just, you know, I love my fruit, you know, all of the things that we say. And so she said, well, and I said, plus, what do you do during Lent? Because we don't eat meat or dairy. And she said, we actually have a book. You might want to check it out, and it's called Vegan Keto. So this was like my first book that I started reading a few months ago, and it just talks about how, you know, I could possibly incorporate Lenten fasting with keto. It has a lot of recipes in it that are just difficult, and I was like, I cannot do this, but I did read this book. I found some things in here that were very interesting, but a lot of the recipes in here are difficult. And hi Karen, thanks for waving. So this is kind of where I started, was vegan keto. And then I had a friend, a nurse friend, recommend, you guys have seen this one, the paleo cure. Let me tell you, the issue that I currently have with paleo cure is they're still eating a lot of potatoes and things. And I have noticed that when I eat a lot of starchy stuff, I am hungry. I'm very hungry. So those two were interesting reads. And I moved on from that to, let's see, my mom recommended, oh no, this is another lady from church. I'm sorry about the in and out color. Another lady from church, I was talking to her about keto, and she was expressing to me that during fasting periods, she really gains a lot of weight because of all the carbs. And she's a very fit, healthy lady, and just first of all, she's the craftiest person I've ever met, and I just admire her so much. But she has such a handle on her eating, and I asked her, like, how do you handle that? Because I'm really, really struggling, and I'm in this terrible cyclic pattern. I'm sort of obsessed right now, and it just does not feel healthy. So she recommended Trim Healthy Mama. Have you guys seen this? Trim Healthy Mama. This is more about food combining, but it is more of a low carb lifestyle. And it talks about not combining proteins and carbs, or I can't remember exactly. Obviously, I'm not doing this, but I loved this book. What was it? You don't combine fats and carbs. So you want to do fats and proteins, or you want to do fats and carbs. Is that right? Have you guys read this one? It's actually really, really, really good. Charity's doing Trim Healthy Mama right now. So anyway, I know someone who has been extremely successful on this, and it's actually, I know two people. I know this lady from my church here, and I knew a lady from my church in the previous town that we lived in, and both recommended this, and it's just great, and the recipes are in here are fabulous. So this was very inspiring to me. So, I would recommend, if you're sort of looking in this vein of healthy eating and lower carb and all of that, so you don't mix carbs and fats together, right? Okay, so thank you. You would do carbs with protein or carbs with fat. So this is actually a really good book. I read through that one, and just, I don't know, she and I had several conversations about how you do that during Lent, and it just seemed very complicated. So that led to you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. I don't even know if I have. Oh, I love cookbooks. When I was looking at paleo, I found this really awesome cookbook, and I do plan on using some recipes from this, because remember, I'm focusing on whole foods as well. I've really gotten away from the processed food, you guys, and the artificial sweeteners. A big difference in that this month. So this is an excellent, if you're into paleo or low carb, excellent cookbook right here. I told you guys I read a lot. Okay, the next thing, and I don't know where it is. It might be in my bedroom. The next thing I really got into was reading about intermittent fasting. So at this point, let me explain my lifestyle, and maybe you'll understand why this is really clicking with me. So intermittent fasting is not a diet. It is just a cycle of how you pattern your eating. It's patterned eating. You can use it, from what I understand from the research, you can use it with any weight loss program, and it will significantly help your body while you're, trying to lose weight. And so, actually, you know what? I have a book on my phone, but I can't look at it right now, that I really wanted to recommend. So I'll drop that down in the comments. So apparently there's been a lot of research done on people that just change their way of eating, and then they change their way of eating and they intermittent fast. And what they found is that people that intermittent fasted, along with changing their eating to healthier eating, lost more fat and maintained more muscle. And so I found that extremely interesting. So during the week for me right now, my husband and I, we fast on Wednesdays and Fridays because of our faith. And then also on Sundays, I don't usually eat. Like, it is almost 4 o'clock and I haven't had anything to eat today, except I'm having my coffee. So we're going to go have dinner this evening together. So intermittent fasting would really fit in well with my life, because I could do more of an every other day intermittent fast. And I'm planning on starting slow. I think that that's the recommendation, is you don't try to do, long periods of time. But the idea being, after dinner, so say I'm going to fast on Wednesday, after dinner on Tuesday, I'll stop eating at 6 or 7 o'clock, whichever I decide. And then I won't eat again until either lunch or dinner of the next day, depending on how long of a time span I want. And there's a whole bunch of benefits if you guys want to research that for yourselves. like I said, I'm not an expert on this, but I have really read a lot about it before I even try something like this. And what's funny is that this totally fits into my life in terms of, um, being Orthodox Christian and all that good stuff. So the other thing with intermittent fasting is you just have to be really aware of what you're putting into your body while you're fasting. You can have water, you can have unsweetened, teas, black coffee, that sort of thing, but you really want to avoid eating anything. Something else that I read was that the old idea of eating every 2 to 3 hours is sort of passe now with nutritionists, that they've actually proven that it's better to have some time between meals in terms of gut health. And so I've been reading a lot about gut health and all of that good stuff. Please, if I'm incorrect here, you can definitely drop a comment down below and correct me, because I know I'm not an expert here, but I'm just sort of I'm brain dumping basically. So from what I understand, it's really good for the body to have periods of time where you're not eating, so the body can focus on other things besides digestion. And that's, like news to me, because I don't like to be hungry. So what plays a big part in the hunger aspect of that for me is decreasing my carbs. Somebody asked me yesterday, what am I aiming for? Right now, I'm not really aiming for anything this month. This month has been more of a, let's get a lot of that stuff out of my system. And I have been using the Freestyle tracker. Just so you all know, phone that was weight loss related. Besides right now I have the WW app until the end of the month, and I have iTrack Bites on my phone. I got rid of everything. My Fitness Pal, I had Noom on there. I don't even know. I had so many different things on there, and I felt so tied to my phone and like inputting. So I'm trying to step back from that, you guys. I want to have more headspace and less confusion, and I want to stop beating on myself. So I read this. This is my most recent book, and this one just really resonated with me. This one is called the 30-Day Ketogenic Cleanse. This one is by Maria Emmerich. I think what I liked about this, I actually went and bought this one at Amazon, is that it has meal plans in it, and the food in this, you guys, we're not talking like eat a bucket of bacon here. We're talking whole foods, and like these are BLTs, but I like that there's whole foods in this. Just, I don't know, these all look like things that my husband would enjoy, enjoy eating, and that he and I could do it together. So lots of different recipes in here, meal plans in here, and it explains basically what you're doing. So I almost feel like this felt very like freestyle friendly. If you guys watch Tracy over at The Way I See It, Tracy is a WW ambassador who has been doing keto with WW. There's several people kind of around Instagram that are doing keto on WW. I don't know that I want to combine the two like that, but I think it's an interesting concept. I think for me that it's a little too complex at this point, and I want to go one way or the other. So, and then for my husband, okay, so we were talking last week about this approach of intermittent fasting and working on our carbs and all that stuff. I don't want to call it keto yet. Can you guys tell that I don't want to go that direction? But he's like, well, what would I have for dessert? Because my husband loves Little Debbie's. Just want y'all to process that for a second. Okay, just a second. My husband, every night before we go to bed, has to have a treat of some sort. And Little Debbie's, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, whatever. He has a stash in the house. And the Little Debbie thing is not tempting to me at all, you guys. But, so he was like, what am I going to do? So I picked up this book. mostly to show him. This is called Easy Keto Desserts. I was like, look, I can make us some things so that you don't feel like you can't have dessert. Because I think in his mind, he's picturing like a chicken breast and vegetables every night for dinner. And for a guy, I'm going to generalize here, but from what I know of guys, and I have brothers and sons and my husband and blah, 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 that's like a nightmare. That's like a total nightmare. So, oh no, Stephanie. Oh gosh. Stephanie's husband works for Little Debbie and brings home boxes of them. Okay, well, God bless you. It's so funny because actually in his sermon today, my husband mentioned Little Debbie's, which it just made me laugh because when I met him in college, that was like his true love. So definitely going to start with the intermittent fasting and see how that goes, and I'll kind of keep you guys updated on that. I think from everything I've read, there's just so much benefit. Now, what I've read that could lead to binge eating, but I read this really great book. It's on my phone. Like I said, the doctor that was writing the book was talking about it's really impossible if you have a small eating window to binge the amount of calories that you would need to sustain obesity. And so I feel like I'm sitting weird. So, I was thinking about that. So I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I wanted to show you all kind of my research. I have other books. Oh, I have this one. I told you I've been buying books the last year. This is just the keto diet. This one intimidated me a lot. This has a lot of information. It's a little bit overkill for me. It's like, okay, so apparently there are ways that you can be really organized about keto, and then there's like a disorganized way to be about keto. And it's too much. I can't. So I was like, let me just work on whole foods and healthy fats. I really miss the days of WW where you made sure you got your healthy fats in, because I really believe that protein and healthy fat increases satiety and decreases cravings in me. And you guys may feel differently, and that's totally cool. I totally support you in that. So that one, and then the last one, that I got at a garage sale for 50 cents was this Practical Paleo. I think I've had this one for a while. But anyway, this had a lot of cool meal plans. Actually, I think I bought this one before any of these books because someone at my old church recommended that for my husband because he was really frustrated with gaining weight after one of our fasts. He had not been eating and eating a lot of carbs and things, and then right after the fast, he just put on like 10 pounds immediately. And so somebody at church was telling me about paleo, and that was maybe my first introduction into paleo. And she said, buy this book and have him look at it and see if he likes any of the recipes. And I gave it to him, and he was like, Little Debbie's, Tamsin, me too. I love it. Jane, I know you mentioned Eat Like a Bear. I don't know anything about that, so I will definitely go check that out. I'm trying to do as much research as possible because no matter what I end up doing, I really want it to be sustainable, but I really want to be less of a nut, want to be less crazy. So that's where I'm at. I wanted to share this afternoon. Let me see if there's any comments. Carrie, how is he so thin on his Little Debbie diet? Well, my husband is really great at portion control. And so, he's not somebody that's going to eat a box of Little Debbie's. He'll have one, and then that satisfies him. So, yeah. But he'll also have pizza the same night and whatever else. And that's why he's getting, a little bit of a weight thing that he doesn't like. So, this isn't something that I have an issue with. I think he looks great, and I love him. So, oh, thank you, Tamsin. Tamsin says this sounds like a great idea, especially where you and your husband can do it together. I think having him support me and be in this with me would be really great, especially now that our kids have left home, at night. I just want to make one meal for us, and I want it to be healthy, and I want us both to feel like we're doing something for ourselves that's, healthy. And I would love to see him get away from a lot of the artificial stuff too. So I feel like I could really help him in that way, and then maybe he could help me by just supporting me in this. I need less. I need less cravings, you guys. So I was to the point, I think, before where I was really just saving points every night so I could eat dessert. Dee Dee says, what about pizza? Dee Dee, I don't know. I mean, I just don't have the answer to that, Dee Dee, but I'm sure there's ways that you can come up with pizza. I get that. I'm going to say that for myself, you guys, I am willing to sacrifice quite a lot to not feel so cuckoo about this. And, you know, pizza is not something I have to have every week of my life. And I'm sure there will be times where I will need to eat some pizza on vacation and that sort of thing. So it's like anything else. I'm going to just try things out. And I thought I would be transparent and share that with you all. It makes me a little bit nervous because like I said, I feel like I'm more of a WW expert because I've done it for so long than I am on anything like this. So please understand, I'm not trying to come at you guys like somebody that knows what I'm talking about because it's just me, whatever. But this has been definitely like, not this is not, but this has definitely been like in my head for a while. And if you are with me over on Instagram, you'll see I was talking about this 6 months ago and just kept putting it on the back burner. I really want to make that drastic of a change. And what about my apps? What about all my apps? And something else that I would like to move towards, and this is going to be really hard for me, is weighing monthly. I've been reading a lot about that. And I think in order to get away from this cycle, I might have to move more into that. One of you guys also mentioned Overeaters Anonymous to me, and I have read the OA books. I feel like that's something that could be really beneficial. Do I want to go to another meeting right now? Not really. So I just want to move more in this direction, and we'll kind of see where we go from there. But thank you so much for, offering that out to me. And I totally hear you. And I've had that discussion with other people in my life. So I get it. But thanks, guys. You guys are so positive, and thanks for being so positive and supporting me. I know you guys want the best for me out there. So I really accept your comments, and I've had lots of people reach out and try to give advice and all that. I really accept that from you all, and I just honor that, and I want you to know I'm really thankful that you would care enough to write me a comment is just incredible. I do read all of your comments. I try to go back and either put a heart or a comment underneath. If I don't get to it right away, it's just because sometimes there's a lot of them, which I love, but I want to read each one and try to understand what you guys are saying. So Karen, it's okay. I know I don't have a moderator right now on this because it's on my phone, and I didn't really see any of the comments. So but it is, that's the thing with live. There's always some sort of moderation problem. So any questions, any thoughts like that, I would really appreciate a thumbs up on my video if you are enjoying my lives, so that I know to do more of them. Oh, Carrie wants to know if I have any wedding updates on Judakota. I don't have any wedding updates. She has her dress. We know where we're having the wedding. They're working on the date of the wedding, and they know their colors. They're going to be doing sort of a hydrangea color theme, sort of more of a kind of a country wedding type of thing. That dress, I don't know if I showed you. Oh, over on Instagram, I posted a dress. I ordered a dress from Chico's or somewhere like that. I look like a big old fluffy lacy something in it, so I sent it back. And I'm trying to lose a little bit more weight or get a little healthier, or whatever you want to call it, before his wedding. So it wasn't a good idea for me to be buying dresses at that point anyway. I don't think I have anybody in here that's a moderator, and there's no way to make anybody a moderator on my phone. So, let me see. Catherine, thank you. Yes, I've heard that this way of eating is really awesome for Alzheimer's. Oh, I do want to put it out there though for you guys. If you're diabetic or have hypoglycemia or anything like that, if you have any kind of health problems, please, if you're like me and you read all this stuff and you think you're going to try something, please run it by your healthcare provider. I have done that. I work in healthcare, so I have a lot of people that I talk to on a regular basis. And, you know, I have people that have been successful on Weight Watchers. I have people that have been successful on keto that work in healthcare. So of course I'm one of those people that get, you know, I get a yearly physical and I'm constantly in there like, help me. So help me, I'm a nurse. That's one of the reasons why I got away from night nursing is my doctor said, Amy, being a night nurse is going to take 7 years off of your life. You need to get a day job. And I listened and I went and I got a day job. So I like to listen to my doctors. So anyway, thanks guys for watching. Thanks for your support. I will check back in with you guys this week. If you would like for me to do a day of eating or a day of intermittent fasting, or if you, whatever, if you like these lives, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear, you know, what you guys would like to see here on my channel. I am going to be doing a little bit of meal prep today. I've got to go run to Sam's tonight before they close. It's 4 o'clock here. So Donna says she does the Lose It app, counting calories. Yeah, Donna, calories matter no matter what you're doing. Even on some of these lower carb plans, you have to watch your calories. In fact, Thomas DeLauer, who I've been watching here on YouTube, he talks about that, you know. So that's definitely a part of the whole thing. And did you guys know that your body actually can manufacture its own carbohydrates? And so when we talk about, oh, I need to make sure I get, you know, the carb servings on the food pyramid, your body actually can make carbs out of things. So I didn't realize that. That was like a new tidbit of information. So thanks guys for watching. I'm going to go now and find my hubby and drag him to Sam's and then go out to dinner. So Cat D, yes, I would agree with you. Cat D, actually, I would say most Americans have bad eating habits. I don't think it's just healthcare. I think when you see people in healthcare, you're seeing a representation of the country on the whole. And part of the problem in healthcare, especially with healthcare workers, we have really stressful jobs, which increases cortisol. And you guys know high cortisol leads to abdominal fat. So working 12-hour, 13, 14-hour shifts at night and ordering out and all that did not help me. So I'm not going to blame all of that on nursing, but a lot of nurses, we have trouble managing our weight and all that good stuff. So, okay, I'm out. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.